That's got to be it. That should be it. Give that a moment to catch up. Yep, we did it. We did it, guys. Excellent. Alright, now that we have fixed all the problems, I will. Only took 10.5 minutes to fix, but the point is, we're now ready. Alright. Okay. And for anyone curious, I am using a Steam controller. It is my preferred way to play these days. Alright, let's get into it. Finally. It's been a while since I played this. Over stream real quick. Get a friend request. Thanks, Bulba. Just realized something I should probably do. It's not Twitch. Just a small thing. Gonna just turn off any sort of notifications if I can. So, didn't really need them anyway. There we go. I've restarted this quite a few times. Block me. Alright, for real this time. We're doing it. It doesn't matter if you have those, it's not gonna work. I suppose it could, but you need to be stealing. It's an entirely different problem. Look a little more professional. Something I'm not. Okay. This is Dragon Age Origin. It's covering quite a bit actually. I might find a better place for the webcam later. So, I'm going to be talking a lot of lore. Because there's a lot of lore to talk about. But let's talk gameplay. This is the Ultimate Edition, so I have everything in it. All the DLC, all the little extra bits, everything. So, be prepared for that. But in terms of what we're going to be doing, we're going to be doing the main campaign. We're definitely going to do Witch Hunt. This is very important. I'm pretty sure we're going to do the Golems of Amgarok. It's not really that important, but I kind of like to do it. I'm not sure if we're going to do Darkspawn Chronicles or Liliana's Song for, honestly, lore reasons. Darkspawn Chronicles is not canon. It involves the player character never surviving past their origin story, and killing the entire party. Liliana's Song, while possibly canon, it contradicts things said in-game. We may explore that, but I'll decide that later. We're definitely going to do, although, is Dragon Age Awakening, the expansion after the game. And so, definitely going to do Witch Hunt, definitely going to Dragon Age Awakening, probably doing Gamgarok. We'll decide on these two later, but not right now. Anyway, I think that's all I need, so let's just jump right in. Oh, and if anyone's curious, I am not using mods at this time. I'm also streaming to Steam. So is the Golden City blackened. With each step you take in my whole, marvel at perfection, for it is fleeting. You've brought sin to heaven, and doom upon all the world. The Canticle of Therides 8:13.
The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead, they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten.
Wait till I see the UI.
We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all.
Yep. That's all good stuff. And as this is Dragon Age Origins, there are, well, a lot of origin stories. If you watched Rhinelight's stream, you'd have seen me talk about these don't really make much difference in the stories. These do. These will determine what classes are available and what origins are available. Guy, can be a girl. For humans, you can be a warrior, be a rogue, or you can be a mage. And mages, and as you can see, human, warrior, and rogue have one story available. Human noble. You can investigate that. Live. Thank you. Anyway, but the mage has one story available. It is what it is. I'll get into that. But the elves, they can, the warrior and rogue, they have two stories. City elf or the Dalish elf. But they, for some reason, also only have one origin as magic. But they honestly should have Dalish, and I think there's a mod for that. But I don't have it right now. And the dwarves in game are unable to use magic, and therefore do not have magic mage as a class available. But both of them have the same origins available to them: Dwarf Commoner and Dwarf Noble. All of these are very, very good stuff. Very interesting things. But I've explained the Dalish, the Dwarf Commoner, the City Elf, the Dwarf Noble, the Human Noble in pretty good detail on Rhinelight's stream. You may know him. But I'm going to be doing a mage playthrough, which I haven't explained for that exact purpose. Now, I could be an elf and be a mage. I could even be female if I wanted to. No, they're cute. But there are good reasons to be a male in this game. And there is a good reason to be human for that purpose as well. Because each one of these origins has their own backstory. What you don't know is they also have a last name. A last name that only really affects the human mage. Because the human mage, their last name is Amel. The maiden name of Hawk's mother in Dragon Age 2. So, human mages are cousins to Hawk, the champion of Kirkwall. It will only really matter when we get to Dragon Age 2, but it's still, I'm going to be building up all of this lore and probably play all 3 games, assuming my streaming goes well. So, oh, got a little comment. Hey Bulba, thanks for joining my stream. Make sure, again, if there's any issues, if my voice cuts out for some reason, game's too loud, I'm too quiet, whatever, feel free to speak up, anyone. Alright, before we make a character, gotta make a name. And I like the name Jack. I just do, I don't know why. Oh, sounds good. Thanks. That's good. And we're not gonna do quick play, because I'm one of those people, I love to create a character. There's quite a few options for to start from. None of them terrible, but not all of them are great though. I think I have one that I kind of prefer to start from. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, we're gonna adjust him a bit. We're gonna be here for a little bit because I love creating characters. We'll investigate most of the options. Not much lore here. Like honestly, I'm just making a character. I'll get more into the lore when the game actually starts. Yeah, it's decent. There are a lot of there's a little bit I can go into right here. In regards to tattoos, a lot of the races tattoos don't really matter, but except for two, that would be dwarves, specifically dwarf commoners, and elves, specifically Dalish elves. I don't think I'll use a tattoo. I don't really like the human tattoos that much. They are different per race. So, good. Anyway, hair. Yeah, I am gonna give him some hair probably. Don't know what that even said. Oh, that's fun. You know, let's change the hair color right now because it's a bit difficult to see. We'll just use that just to have a look at the options. Maybe. Let's have a look at everything first. Just slight side profile. So we can have a look. Looks cultured. Okay, and that's all the hairstyles. So as a mage, he's going to be very learned. So, you know, I kind of like the pulling it back so it doesn't get in your way. But that one's a bit more. This one feels a bit more sophisticated just for some reason. And yeah, now the hair color kind of works. But we're going to look at all of them just in case. I'll get to the beard in a few moments. That dark hair because it's just not colorful enough. Yeah, I like that. I'm not gonna mess with eyebrows. I don't care that much. I'm gonna mess with that stubble though. Any difference between those? Huh. Weird. Anyway, let's check the beard. Not bad. That makes him look a bit older though. Or a lot older. You know, I don't think he needs a beard. I think that little patch is good. Color. Yeah, patch. Just keep it at that. Looks good. I think so. Yeah. Nice. Alright. Eyes. His eyes honestly look pretty good already. Change the color though. not very noticeable differences in color. They're there for sure, but this angle is pretty difficult to see. Can't even see blue eyes. Oh well. I think that was blue. It's hard to tell. Oh well. We'll leave it with that. But I think I want to change that nose. A little too long. It's a decent one. Yeah, I think I like that first one. Don't want to mess with these too much because I'm not perfect. No, I think he's good. Mouth. He's a slight overbite. Let's see. Somehow he seems more privileged with like that. It's more submissive. Okay, I want privilege. It's just a bit like a little angry. Kind of fits. You'll see why. I'm not gonna. Cheeks are kind of sallow. Let's fix that. Give him a bit of color. He ain't living in luxury, but he ain't starving. Let's pull in the cheekbones a little bit, clean them up. Yeah. Looks good. Looks real good. Wait, how about that? His jaw. Yeah, his jaw's fine. Alright. Ears. His ears are fine. So is his neck. Oh, got a little comment. Alright. Alright, Bulba, you're gonna go back to shiny hunting after a break. I might join you later, though I'm probably gonna be playing this for a while. It's a pretty long game. The portrait, of course. No, there's nothing really special about the portrait. It's just thing above your character's health bar and such, so, you know. It's honestly kind of extravagant that they let you adjust that, but, you know, it's not a bad thing. Let's move him a little left. Let's zoom in so we can better see those expressions. Oh, a wide range. That's a little not serious enough. It's a little too blank. Just a little stern. Just a bit. And just enough so you can see any gear he's wearing. And slightly up. Perfect. The voice doesn't really mean anything.
I have lost the spell. How do you do?
Greetings.
Greetings. Charmed, I'm sure. Greetings.
Now, despite what it seems right here, they don't talk much. They only talk during combat. They do not talk during dialogue at all.
Greetings. How do you do?
Greetings. Well, that didn't work. I need some other attack.
Experience is
Greetings. Blasted! I've lost the spell! It is unharmed.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Ah, there went the spell. It's not working.
Greetings.
Ah, my spell! What does it take to kill these things?
Greetings.
I think I'm leaning towards wise or mystical.
I have lost the spell. I should do something else.
Greetings. Blasted! I've lost the spell! It is unharmed. Excuse me. Fare you well.
Alright, that's pretty
Greetings. I have lost the spell. I should do something else. I need buy, please. Till we meet again.
Yeah, I think I'm going with wise. Alright. Just a quick check over his face. It's just no way to get rid of that. Oh. See another comment. I see. I'll try and do that a bit, Bulba, though I am playing full screen, so you might need to just join my channel, because I am in the Discord, the streaming Discord of my channel right now. Up to you, though. Alright, I think we're good. So, time to adjust the stuff. If I remember correctly, I think humans get like an extra something. I don't remember. I didn't pay attention. Doesn't matter. It's not going to affect the end goal. Strength is exactly what you think it is for physical combat. For right. I can send that just a sec. Just to get the Discord. Yeah, but it's been a while since I've done this. What the heck? Why is it not letting me do it? That's weird. Let's try using the tablet then. Get a real close up. Yeah, I got that. I got that, the Bulba. Just, it's kind of giving me trouble for some reason. Not sure why. great stream. Okay, new plan. New plan, I'll just post a link to the Discord in chat, because I have no idea why it's just not letting me do it. And anyone can join. There you go. I don't understand why it made me do it that way, but that should be good. Alright. Back to where I was. Strength. Strength. Don't know why it shows it in two places, but whatever. Strength affects melee attacks, and it's needed for warriors, especially if they use two-handed weapons, and is pretty important for rogues, because this game's gear has stat requirements often, and honestly it's pretty rough for rogues because they got stat requirements for dexterity and for strength. Excuse me. So, you know, kind of rough, but is what it is. And warriors do also have dexterity checks for gear, but it's often much lower than the strength checks are for rogues. It's not perfect, but well, that's just how it is. And I think if you join me, I think I have to invite you to the streaming chat as well. Anyway, we're moving on. Dexterity. Oh, that's weird. Only shows cunning. Oh, there we go. Dexterity. It's, you know, typical thing in RPG. Chance to hit, chance to get hit, and affects dagger and arrows damage. No, very, very important for a rogue. Power is for mages. It's mana, basically. Gives you more MP and helps you resist magic a bit. Magic is, of course, the mage's damage. Oh, I forgot to mention, willpower also affects not just mana pool, but stamina pool. So warriors and rogues need this too. Anyway, magic damage for mages. And that's basically what it is. It also affects effective potions and poultices and such are for all classes, but no one really makes those. It's not worth it. Better just find or buy them. Cunning, a secondary rogue stat for a few different types of skills, but mostly, you know, weapon gear checks and ability checks. And finally, Constitution, which affects health. Important for tanks and kind of everyone, but you know. Anyway, I am a mage, so I'm going to be boosting magic a little bit, boosting willpower, and for later reasons I'm going to be boosting Constitution, because I already know what I'm going to build this character towards. These are the stuff you can purchase. These are skills. Some miscellaneous skills. Everybody can have these. You know, certain characters are better at these. What is this? Yes. Blocking interrupts. I generally find not all of these are very useful. Survival is kind of useful. Combat training is incredibly useful for every class, basically. Trap making is terrible. Stealing is alright, but it has a stat requirement that makes it only really viable for rogues. And coercion is very useful, as it's your persuade of the game. A little bit. We'll get combat training at a later date. I don't remember how many of these you get throughout the game. It's been a while, but you get more than a few. There are a lot of spells for mages, and a lot of them are good. In fact, a ridiculous amount of them are good. Some more than others. So many to choose from. I should probably grab heal at the very least. But surprisingly, heal is one of the... And which is the other one? Yep. Upkeep is 30. Will not do that one. Could build towards haste, which is just breaks everything. But we're not going to do that for now. I'm just going to get heal. Just regular heal. And there's so many. And almost all of them are viable too. Double check here. Anti-mage? Oh boy. You know, I think I'll do Spirit. Spirit's really strong. And really good for anti-mages. I will save some of the more anti-mage stuff for later, but I'll get a good spell right now. I'm gonna play on normal. I don't really like to play on hard or nightmare.
On a cliff overlooking the dark waters of Lake Kalenhad stands the Tower Fortress that is home to the Circle of Magi. This tower is the only place in Ferelden where mages may study their art among others of their kind. Within the high stone
Product
walls,
placement.
the Circle practices its magic and trains apprentices in the proper use of their powers. But the Circle Tower is as much a prison as a refuge. The ever-vigilant Templars of the Chantry watch over all mages, constantly alert for any sign of corruption. This gilded cage is the only world you know. Found to be sensitive to magic at a young age, you were torn from your family and grafted here as an apprentice. Now, that apprenticeship is nearly over. All that remains is the final test, the harrowing.
Magic exists to serve man, and never to rule over him. Thus spoke the prophet Andraste as she cast down the Tevinter Imperium, ruled by mages who had brought the world to the edge of ruin. Your magic is a gift, but it's also a curse. For demons of the Dream Realm, the Fade, are drawn to you, and seek to use you as a gateway into this world.
This is why the harrowing exists. The ritual sends you into the Fade, and there you will face a demon, armed with only your will.
Oh, well, that should only get you the Discord. I was gonna send you the link to the streaming chat, like, right now. Do that before I begin talking. Although, just let me check the link real quick. Wait, what? It's supposed to not expire. Honestly, what on earth is wrong with this thing? Oh, my mistake. There's one less 3 in there. Do that, like... Yeah. Let me just fix that. Don't know how that happened. That should work. And I'll send you a private message with the link to the streaming chat. That. Apparently we aren't friends on Discord. Could have swore you just sent me one though. Yeah, that's weird. Now you're there. Weird. A lot of not playing the game on this stream. Great, you're in. Now I just need to get you into that streaming chat. That's the end of the link, so should be able to use that to get into the voice chat. All right. All right. Whenever you're ready. So this is the harrowing. They're gonna send you in the Fade. You gotta face a demon, one who wants to possess you. And if you fail, find out right here.
It will turn you into an abomination, and the Templars will be forced to slay you.
That.
This is Lyrium, the very essence of magic, and your gateway into the Fade.
The harrowing is a secret out of necessity, child. Every mage must go through this trial by fire. As we succeeded, so shall you. Keep your wits about you, and remember the Fade is a realm of dreams. The spirits may rule it, but your own will is real.
The apprentice must go through this test alone, First Enchanter. You are ready.
Privileged underbite. Lyrium is basically it's just like a super magically reactive substance. And mages use it to, you know, enhance their powers or restore their powers. We are not going to do that. Let's just turn off tutorials. Check the controls real quick. That's what I thought. Sorry, what? There's Magnus. Okay. Zoom a little bit, and we're good. There we go. Okay, full control. Get out. Just turned it off. Oh, there. Get tutorials on your own time, guys. I am not going to be party to it. tutorials force you to do this. I will not be party to that, but does. We should equip some stuff right now. Equip some shoes. That's better anyway. And just toss that on. I'm pretty sure there's a hide helmet option. So. DLC items, a lot of these. That's why we're starting the game with a bunch of equipment. That's not bad. Good stuff here, except for that one. Yes, this will boost experience a little bit. I guess we could equip that. And I think we'll equip this. For the belt. There are quite a few amulets. Let's get offensive. And it doesn't, DLC extra items doesn't come with any boots, so I won't be using any. This is a item I don't believe comes back because it's just like some special healing item. Not really that important. This I'm going to use. And to get an extra skill. Let's double check the controls. Kind of go to the same thing every time you get a skill. Now we're gonna get some combat training. And we're good. Oh right, it's in the inventory, I think. I'll get into more of those different time. crazy and there isn't one. But I feel confident there is. Anyway, let's continue on. Adjusted some settings. Now here's our combat. It's a basic turn-based thing.
Someone else thrown to the wolves, as fresh and unprepared as ever. It isn't right that they do this, the Templars. Not to you, me, anyone.
You're a talking rat.
You think you're really here? In that body? You look like that because you think you do. It's always the same. But it's not your fault. You're in the same boat I was, aren't you? Allow me to welcome you to the Fade. You can call me, well, Mouse.
Not your real name, I take it.
No, I don't remember anything from before. The Templars kill you if you take too long, you see. They figure you failed, and they don't want something getting out. That's what they did to me, I think. I have no body to reclaim, and you don't have much time before you end up the same.
That's not gonna happen to me.
That has been said before, but you don't know the danger. There's something here, contained, just for an apprentice like you. You have to face the creature, a demon, and resist it, if you can. That's your way out. Or your opponents, if the Templars wouldn't kill you. A test for you. A tease for the creatures of the Fade.
Anything can die. I doubt it's as simple as that.
You would be a fool to just attack everything you see. What you face is powerful, cunning. There are others here. Other spirits. They will tell you more. Maybe help. If you can believe anything you see. I'll follow, if that's all right. My chance was long ago, but you may have a way out. A dangerous spirit is not far. Don't go near it unless you're ready to fight.
There are many different types of spirits. Dragon Age.
That is where the test will take place. The creature can be anywhere, but it manifests there.
Okay, we have a codex. Look right now. First thing, it's the Little Wisp that we fought. A great deal is made of the most powerful demons, the great abominations, those that have changed the history of Thedas. It is often forgotten that not all demons are such awe-inspiring beings. some that break through the circles of the veil into our world are known as wisps. A sliver of a thought that once was. A wisp is a demon that has lost its power. Either it has existed in our world for too long without finding a true host, or it has been destroyed, often, so we found, by other demons. What remains of its mind clings tightly to the one concept that created it, a hatred of all things living. While its ability to target a living creature is limited, these wisps often mindlessly attack when they are encountered and fade. In the living world, they often have been known to maliciously lure the living into dangerous areas, being mistaken for lanterns or other civilized light sources. This does, however, seem to be the very limit of their cunning. From the journal of former senior enchanter Melius, once the Circle of Ravane declared apostate in 1920 Dragon Age. Alright, there's a little bit to dissect in here. First thing is the circle. Might get more into that in other things, but the circle is where all mages go to be, well, all mages that are found out by the Templars and the Circle go to be trained and taught how to use their magic to, you know, not suck and not get possessed and become a monster rampaging across the countryside. In addition, it's also where they take the harrowing, as I am doing right this second. Apostate is what they declare any mages who are not a part of the Circle. It has a real-world meaning, but I don't actually know it off the top of my head. And 920 Dragon Age. In Dragon Age, the world, an age is every 100 years. I don't really remember how they determine 920 from that. It may just be a month. Or year. I'm not sure, but the ages are determined by the name is escaping me right now, but basically the equivalent of the Pope. And they see something in like the first or the last 10 years, I think, or the last year of the previous age, and that's what they will name the next age after. And in this age, the Pope, when I remember the name or see it in game, I'll start referring to it as that, but the Pope saw a high dragon, one of the fully grown female dragons that are winged and incredibly dangerous. She saw one, so she called it, and since they're very rare because they were hunted to near extinction many centuries ago, she found it significant and declared that the next age would be the Dragon Age. In terms of the games themselves, there aren't a lot of dragons, but the ones that are there are pretty significant. Because, one thing, dragons are big. Dragons are enormous, and more than enough to basically destroy an entire village by themselves easily, or kind of just wreck any sort of countryside, economy, or anything. They're a big problem if you're against them. But we'll get more into that later in the game. For now, just dragons are big, mean, and always female. Males do not grow to the same size. They grow to about the size of a car and are wingless. But females can grow to the size of a house and have wings and can fly and all that. That's enough for dragons for right now. So, let's move on to the Codex entry. Harrowing. Little's known about this rite of passage. That alone would be cause for dread. But it is well understood that only those apprentices who pass this trial are ever seen again. They return as full members of the Circle of Magi. Those who fail, nothing is known. Perhaps they are sent away in disgrace. Perhaps they're killed on the spot. I heard one patently ridiculous rumor among the Circle of Vane, which claimed that failed apprentices were transformed into pigs, fattened up and served at dinner to the senior enchanters. But I could find no particular evidence that the Ravani Circle ate any particular quantity of pork. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar, by Brother Genetivi. Obviously, you don't get turned into a pig eaten. That's just a bit of comedy right there. A little bit of pizzazz. But they are killed on the spot if they fail. And honestly, I can't really say much that won't be explained by the game itself. So I won't. Let's move on to something that isn't as explained. Lyrium. More than half the wealth of Orzammar comes from a single extremely rare substance, lyrium. Before I continue, Orzammar is the last remaining dwarven city underground, and they harvest lyrium. Because most beings in the world lyrium is poisonous to even touch. It can kill you pretty easily. Dwarves are pretty resistant to it, but the same resistance means they're resistant to magic. Not completely, but they get some protection. And that is a thing in game. Dwarves take 10% less damage from spells. Anyway, continuing. The Chantry believes it to be the waters of the Fade, mentioned in the Canticle of Threnodies. The very stuff of creation itself, from whence the Maker fashioned the world. Only a handful of mining caste families hazard extracting the ore, finding veins in the stone, quite literally by ear. For in its raw form, lyrium sings, and discerning can hear the sound even through solid rock. That is a thing. That's definitely a thing. The most talented of dwarves are able to hear this, able to listen to the stone itself, and some of them can even hear lyrium singing in its raw form. You don't get to experience this in game, but there are characters who do. So it is. Even though dwarves have a natural resistance, raw lyrium is dangerous for all but the most experienced of the mining caste to handle. Even for dwarves, exposure to the unprocessed mineral can cause deafness or memory loss. For humans and elves, direct contact with lyrium ore produces nausea, blistering of the skin, and dementia. Mages cannot even approach unprocessed lyrium. Doing so is invariably fatal. That's honestly kind of weird considering mages drink processed lyrium. But, I'm not going to question that. Despite its dangers, lyrium is the single most valuable mineral currently known. In the Tevinter Imperium, it is known to command a higher price than diamond. The dwarves sell very little of the processed mineral to the surface, giving the greater portion of what they mine to their own smiths, who use it in the forging of all truly superior dwarven weapons and armor. What processed lyrium is sold on the surface goes only to the Chantry, who strictly control the supply. From the Chantry, it's dispensed both to the Templars, who make use of it in tracking and fighting Maleficarum, another term for rogue mages, specifically of the more malicious kind, and to the Circle. In the hands of the Circle, lyrium reaches its fullest potential. Their Formari craftsmen transform it into an array of useful items, from the practical, such as magically hardened stone for construction, to the legendary silver armor of King Calenhad, the former king of Ferelden, the country we are currently in. When mixed into liquid and ingested, lyrium allows mages to enter the Fade fully aware, like all others who reach it only while dreaming. Every being that goes to sleep mages can do that while lucid dreaming, basically, but they're lucid dreaming in a place that exists. So, kind of complicated. Anyway, such potions can also be used to aid in the casting of especially taxing spells, for a short time granting a mage far greater power than he normally wields. Lyrium has its costs, however. Prolonged use becomes addictive, the cravings unbearable. Over time, Templars grow disoriented, incapable of distinguishing memory from present, or dream from waking. They frequently become paranoid, as their worst memories and nightmares haunt their waking hours. Mages have additionally been known to suffer physical mutation. The magister lords of the Tevinter Imperium were widely reputed to have been so affected by their years of lyrium use that they could not be recognized by their own kin, nor even as creatures that had once been human. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Translation Scholar by Brother Genitivi. You're going to hear a lot of these by him. He is a very, very well-known scholar. We're just going to get rid of these. Like, we're not going to really look at the control stuff. We're just going to make sure it's not saying stuff in the notifications. Anyway, moving on. Characters. The man in the armor at the very beginning, that was Knight Commander Gregor. Your magic is a gift, but it's also a curse. The Circle of Magi has trained you, and we Templars of the Chantry stand vigilant to ensure that training is adequate. He is... You know, I'm not even going to say it, 'cause he's a character who will be important later. And first, Enchanter Irving. Shit's on. Should probably turn off Steam notifications. To survive, you must learn the rules and realize that sometimes sacrifices are necessary. Wise words, I suppose. And those credits and credits. Those are some joke items for the party. Not important. Anyway, back to the game.
Another spirit this way. It never seemed equal to its name to me.
I am perfectly capable of answering most questions about Dragon Age lore. This is a spirit of valor.
Another mortal thrown into the flames and left to burn, I see. Your mages have devised a cowardly test. Better you were pitted against each other to prove your mettle with skill. To be sent unarmed against a demon. They would have you battle a demon. With magic or weapon, to be the victor makes you a warrior still. That you remain means you have not yet defeated your hunter. I wish you a glorious battle to come.
What kind of spirit are you?
I am Valor. A warrior spirit. I hone my weapons in search of the perfect expression of combat.
What else do you know about the harrowing?
Is that what your test is called? I know little of your mortal ways. I do know that a demon has been called, and told that a meal awaits. It will not, cannot leave, until one of you is dead.
Did you create all these weapons?
They are brought into being by my will. I understand that in your world, mages are the only ones who can will things into being. Those mortals who cannot must lead such hollow, empty lives.
Would one of these weapons affect the demon?
Without a doubt. In this realm, everything that exists is the expression of a thought. Do you think these blades be steel? The staves be wood? Do you believe they draw blood? A weapon is a single need for battle, and my will makes that need reality. Do you truly desire one of my weapons? I will give one to you, if you agree to duel me first. Valor shall test your mettle as it should be tested.
No, I could just duel him. I could, of course. But, no. I have no weapon. He has armor. I could easily beat him. This is a tutorial, but I prefer to do less. Do a willpower save, and it seems you would prefer to kill me yourself.
How dare you accuse me? I am no demon preying upon helpless mortals to steal their essence. I am a being of honor and valor. I am a warrior.
So you challenge helpless mortals to duels.
You are insolent. But your will is unquestionably strong. Very well, mortal. You prove to me that you possess the strength to resist this demon. Go, prove your worth as you must. I am confident you will succeed.
He doesn't like me really that much after that, but that's irrelevant. Because I don't like him. He gave me a staff though. The thing with staves in Dragon Age is they can't miss. They are range attacks that cannot miss at all. But they also cannot crit. So any sort of crit rate is fairly useless.
I shall do it.
For healing items. Probably didn't even need a healing spell yet. Game autosaves often. But not too often. Still kind of hard to...
Be cautious. There is another spirit here. Not the one hunting you, but still.
Of course, as this is an RPG. And a BioWare RPG, no less.
So, you are the mortal being hunted. And the small one, is he to be a snack for me?
I don't like this. He's not going to help us. We should go.
No matter. The demon will get you eventually. And perhaps there will even be scraps left.
What kind of spirit are you?
It's a demon. Maybe even more powerful than the one chasing after you.
Be gone. Surely you have better things to do than bother sloth, mortal. I tire of you already.
I need help defeating a demon.
You have a very nice staff. Why would you need me? Go. Use your weapon, since you have earned it. Be valorous.
He looks powerful. It might be possible that he could teach you to be like him.
Like me? You mean teach the mortal to take this form? Why? Most mortals are too attached to their forms to learn the change. You, on the other hand, little one, might be a better student. You let go of the human form years ago.
I don't think I'd make a very good bear. How would I hide?
Could help me fight the demon.
It's true. I am quite powerful in this form when I wish to be.
I welcome the opportunity, if it is my choice. The mages in the tower are quick to volunteer others, as you well know. I'll try. I'll try to be a bear, if you'll teach me.
That's nice. The teaching is so exhausting. Away with you now.
I told you he wasn't going to help us.
Can't just suggest something and then just change your mind.
I can't. You have so much to learn about the Fade, little mortal.
Mouse wants to learn. Teach him.
You wish to learn my form, little one? Then I have a challenge for your friend. Answer 3 riddles correctly, and I will teach you. Fail, and I will devour you both. The decision is yours.
Yeah, for the record, if I try and attack him, he'll just attack us. I won't get anything. And while he's a little tough, he's not really hard enough to kill, big enough to kill us.
Truly? This gets more and more promising. My first riddle is this. I have seas with no water, coasts with no sand, towns without people, mountains without land. What am I?
Honestly, these riddles would probably be more difficult if I didn't have multiple choice. But I do.
Correct. Let's move on. The second riddle. I'm rarely touched, but often held. If you have wit, you'll use me well. What am I?
And it's a tongue.
Yes, your witty tongue. Fair enough. One more try, shall we? Often will I spin a tale, never will I charge a fee. I'll amuse you an entire eve, but alas, you won't remember me. What am I?
An annoying riddler.
3. You are correct. Rather apropos here in the Fade. But you've won my challenge and proven yourself an amusing distraction. So, I shall teach you my form. Now, listen carefully.
Like this? Am I a bear? It feels heavy.
Close enough. Go then and defeat your demon or whatever you intend to do. I grow weary of your mortal prattling.
Mouse is a bear now.
And there is a spirit of rage.
That's feels very too early. But yeah, the demon that's trying to kill me is now present.
Is that no true reason to fight. Back! Strange.
What do you know about the Fade, Mouse?
It's the realm of dreams. You know that, don't you? Everyone comes here to dream, but it's fleeting, and they remember little. But mages can enter awake, and that draws attention. There are many spirits in the Fade. These demons feed on the dark parts of the mind. The Templars in the tower would give them a meal for certain.
Where are the other spirits you mentioned?
Directions are tough here. If you look around, I'll tell you if we're getting close. How about that?
Is it possible change like you do?
Maybe. If you're able to forget that you're you, that takes a long time. You can't think like a spirit. They shape the Fade according to their will. Solid things, real things are just more complicated ideas. I think you'd better focus on something simpler. Defeat your spirit or demon, or be killed.
How do I get out?
Normally there are doorways out, portals, but I think the mages have sealed them. I don't know how long that lasts. Until you complete your harrowing, I imagine.
Alright, let's keep moving.
I'm ready if you are.
Where'd he go? There he is.
I've never felt this way before. It's strange.
How have you survived yourself?
I missed my chance. So I became small, unnoticeable. I hide from the bigger things, learn from the smaller things. There are places you can hide where the shadows go on forever. You stay there long enough, and the shadows begin to creep inside of you. I don't know how long it's been. Forever, maybe.
So no way I can help you out of here?
Out of here? Out of the Fade? I don't know. I don't have a body waiting for me. It's not something I try to think about. Stay here too long and it's like being adrift. Pieces of you float away until you're not even a memory.
Would you prefer to die?
I don't know. Maybe what comes next is worse. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's just get you out of here. This way before. It's strange.
Templars just killed you.
That is what happens to the physical bodies of apprentices who fail. They'd kill every mage if they could. All the Templars see in magic is danger. And they don't just use the harrowing. If you learn a little too much, they'll label you a blood mage and kill you on sight. True mages like you know that the power you hold is a gateway to greater things. A potential they can never hope to contain.
Isn't there also the right of tranquility?
Be turned into an emotionless freak? That is what it is, you know? To never dream, never feel. Even demons abhor them. But I suppose that is the trade-off. They can't be possessed, as if that is worse than losing yourself. You don't want to lose yourself here. Being nothing would be easier than this. I think you should finish your harrowing.
Honestly, I didn't say that line.
This way
I thought it would
before.
be the same.
It's strange.
It wasn't. Why make us face a spirit or demon for the harrowing?
Because they're sadistic bastards, that's why. And I'm not talking about demons. Everyone must face the harrowing because there's a small chance a mage might become possessed and become an abomination. Thrown to the mercy of a demon when you're at your weakest. For the safety of all.
Mages can't be the only ones at risk of possession.
They aren't, but power attracts attention. Maybe it's entering the Fade awake. Not a gentle process. I don't really know. Magic is evil, and therefore, so are you. They'll never change. The Circle is a prison. You have choices between joining and suffering various deaths of body or spirit. Remember that.
Let's keep moving.
I'm ready if you are.
Now, one thing you just mentioned is very important to note. Mages are feared because they are liable to be possessed because demons are always after them. But anyone who can enter the Fade can be possessed. Which means the only ones who can't be possessed are dwarves. Even if you're not a mage, when you go to sleep, you go to the Fade. Which means anyone can be possessed. Even if they're not a mage. No one likes to think about that. But it is true.
And so it comes to me at last. Soon I shall see the land of the living with your eyes, creature. You shall be mine, body and soul.
It's 2 against 1. You want to fight us both?
Amusing. Have you not told it of our arrangement, Mouse?
We don't have an arrangement. Not anymore.
And after all those wonderful meals we have shared, now suddenly the mouse has changed the rules?
I'm not a mouse now. And soon I won't have to hide. I don't need to bargain with you.
We shall see.
Yeah, he's gonna throw fire at me.
You did it. You actually did it. When you came, I hoped that maybe you might be able to, but I never really thought any of you were worthy.
The ones you betrayed before me. What were their
What?
names?
They were not as promising as you. It was a long time ago. I don't remember their names. I don't even remember my own name. It's the Fade, and the Templars killing me, like they tried with you.
Anything to survive, like an animal, or worse.
I am what the Fade has made me. Am I to blame for that? Deciding to exist or not exist is not a fair choice. I had no hope. You have shown me other possibilities. If you want to help, there may be a way for me to leave here, to get a foothold outside. You just need to want to let me in.
I'm starting to think that the other demon wasn't my test.
What? What do you... Of course it was! What else is here that could harm an apprentice of your potential? You are a smart one.
Simple killing is a warrior's job. The real dangers of the Fade are preconceptions, careless trust, pride. Keep your wits about you, mage. True tests never end.
The most demons are aspects of various seven deadly sins: wrath, sloth, lust. But the most feared and the most powerful is a demon of pride. That's what that was, quite honestly.
Are you alright? Say something, please.
Demon! Die!
It's me, Jowan. Calm down. Just try to relax. Oh, I'm glad you're alright. They carried you in this morning. I didn't even realize you'd been gone all night. I've heard about apprentices who never come back from harrowings. Is it really that dangerous? What was it like?
It was harrowing.
Is that why they don't tell us what it's about? I know I'm not supposed to know, but we're friends. Just a little hint and I'll stop asking, I promise.
I really shouldn't.
So much for friendship. I'll leave you alone then. And now you get to move to the nice mage's quarters upstairs. I'm stuck here and I don't know when they'll call me for my harrowing. I've been here longer than you have. Sometimes I think they just don't want to test me.
Maybe you're just not ready yet.
I've been ready for a long time. I'm afraid they don't want me to take the test. You do the harrowing, the rite of tranquility, or you die. That's what happens.
They're not going to kill you, Jowan.
They might not. But the rite of tranquility is just as bad, maybe worse. You've seen the Tranquil around the tower, like Owain who runs the stockroom. He's so cold. No, not even cold. There's just nothing in him. It's like he's dead but still walking. His voice, his eyes are lifeless. I shouldn't waste your time with this. I was supposed to tell you to see Irving as soon as you woke up.
I should go talk to him immediately then.
You'd better not keep him waiting. We can speak later.
Did you hear anything? Is he all right? Is he awake?
Why do you care? Are you best friends now?
I'm just curious. That Templar, Cullen, said it was the quickest, cleanest harrowing he'd ever seen. He must be so talented.
Someone sounds jealous.
Close the door.
I just know I'll be terrified when my time comes. Like Wendell was. He'd throw up every day for the next week just thinking about it.
This is the apprentice quarters where they live while they're training to take their harrowing.
Congratulations on your test.
They're all kind of newbies, but they're all also in like their 20s. They take a while to do the harrowing. Just gonna look around for equipment. Anyway, while I'm looking around, people have mentioned in this the Rite of Tranquility. It's the alternative to the harrowing. If you feel that you're not ready, or they feel you're not ready, then they'll give you the Rite of Tranquility. And what they'll do is they'll place a brand of lyrium on your forehead.
It has begun.
And from then on, you won't be able to use magic anymore. Or enter the Fade. Or feel emotions. Yeah. You go through the Rite of Tranquility, you basically become completely emotionless. And it's not great. In fact, it's really bad. But, at the same time, if you're tranquil,
Someone's always watching. I swear it's like the walls and eyes. Shh.
secrets. Anyway, if you're tranquil though, demons cannot possess you, and they don't like that, so they just don't
Very
care
well.
about you. That is some crafting material. I'm just going to sell all of those. because I don't like to craft in this. Let's try to leave. Nope, can't do it.
Congratulations on the harrowing.
Yes, is there something you need?
That's a big door.
Yes, it is. Do you need something, or are you just here to state the obvious?
Can you open the door?
The Knight Commander would have my head if I did that. Besides, I hear it takes no less than 4 grown men to open this door.
I can't leave then.
No, you may not. I'm surprised you ask. I would have thought you'd be used to this idea by now.
Why can't I leave?
Only mages on official circle business are allowed to leave the tower, and the First Enchanter has not informed us of any mages leaving the tower today.
Is this the only way out of the tower?
The only safe one, as far as I know. There are windows on the higher levels, but surely you don't need me to warn you of the dangers of leaping from them. It never ends well.
What's out there?
For Eldin, it's not very interesting. Mostly farms, the occasional river.
I should get
Make a
going then.
smile fortune on you.
He's one of the more polite Templars. Not very important though. I should note this little statue right here is, if I remember correctly, a Tevinter statue. And probably just because the building is older than the circles. The circles were made after Tevinter fell.
Hear what? I heard they suspect someone of dabbling in blood magic. Why would anyone do something so stupid? That's a death sentence. You can bend up, force demons into your service. That's what I hear anyway.
Well, that is fairly accurate. With blood magic, you're able to take control of enemies. You're able to even make them explode from the inside, basically. It's pretty powerful. Useful. Let's get that off the bar. Those are gone forever.
As you say.
Interesting here. Any excess stuff I can just sell.
Very well.
As in all RPGs, you want to just scour the place and grab everything you can.
It shall be done.
Remember, you can go down here at the start. I thought it was locked. That's as far as you can go. These statues are statues of Andraste. Basically, female Jesus, but with a bit of a different backstory, as she wasn't directly born from the Maker. She was born mortal, and basically seduced him with her voice. It's like, oh my gosh, she sounds so hot. I gotta have her up here in heaven. There's a whole lot to go with that, but I'll get into that at a
Very well.
different time. Yeah, I could just be filling this bunch of air. But oh, I just realized I gotta level up. That'll increase my constitution by 1. Increase magic to 20. These are the specializations, which once you reach, I think, level 7 and 14 and 21, which I believe the base game's level cap is 20. Oh, yes, right here, 7 and 14. And 21 is only for Awakening, because its level cap is 30. Anyway, level 7 and 14, you get a specialization point to put into one of these, which come with their own set of special abilities. But in order to even use any of these, you must first unlock the class. once during any playthrough. Once you've unlocked it, then it'll be available for every character of that class every time you play the game. So if I unlock this in this playthrough, any other mage I use in any other game ever will have this available at level 7 or 14. Same with this, and this. And yes, one of these is Blood Mage. You can become a Blood Mage, which is super illegal in this game. Anyway, moving on. Get at least one spell per level. Useful. I'll just put it over here. It's capacity. That will grant me extra power. I think it's actually mana. Oh, there's corpses
Must
around.
control the fire with your will. Keep the flames steady. We don't want it sputtering and leaping about. That's what causes most of the injuries.
Injuries? But...
Steady. It reacts to your emotions. If you panic, it will... No. Breathe. You know, in my experience, flint and tinder works just as well. Maybe we should start with that.
We're all really happy for you.
She sounds way too enthusiastic.
Ah, congratulations on your harrowing.
I've only burnt myself once today. I think that's progress.
Boy, that guy's a lost cause if you ask me.
Do you remember what the Chantress says about magic?
Magic must serve man and not rule over him.
Very good. And what do you think that means? Can anyone tell me? Only boys can do magic.
Hey!
No, that's not what it means.
It means that magic should be used to help people, but we can't use our magic to force people to do what we want.
That's right. We should not abuse the gift the Maker has given us.
I heard the Templars talking about chasing down a Malefica yesterday.
I'm going to be a powerful mage when I grow up.
I can't wait to learn the fire spells. It looks like fun.
I remember when you were this age. Adorable.
I was never that small. Jesus, I'm just barely taller than them. And this is the tallest you can be in this game. Ugh.
Concentrate, hold the shield. With all my power behind that spell, you would have been obliterated. I am not your enemy. Fear is your enemy. It is a weakness that can be exploited. Should you face a demon with your will wavering so, it would consume you. Is that what you want?
No.
Then stand firm and know you can resist whatever I throw at you. Again.
How does it feel to be done with the harrowing?
Feels good. Feels
Hello
great.
there.
Did you hear the rumor about someone being a blood mage?
Apparently, this blood mage business has circulated quite a bit. Everybody's talking
Jowen's
about
been
it.
acting weird all day. Have you seen him?
It's true. Maybe it's related.
It shall be done.
Spoilers for a more than 10-year-old game. I think. Pretty sure. I want to say 2007.
Welcome to the Circle's stockroom of magical items. My name is Owain. How may I assist you? I voluntarily submitted to the rite of tranquility. I was unwilling to undergo the harrowing. I find this state agreeable.
You actually like being this way?
I see the world with clarity. I remember the days when my mind was filled with inconvenient and seething emotions. Now things are simple.
What happened during the Rite of Tranquility?
I was ordered to never speak of it. I cannot go against the Circle's wishes.
Oh right, that's supposed to be secret, I guess.
It is difficult to describe. I would perhaps compare it to being plunged into a pool of ice-cold water.
Wow, I've already been streaming for 2 hours. Now you're no longer a person.
My body is similar in form to yours, possessing an equal number of limbs, appendages, and internal organs. I perform the same physical functions. My mind is capable of higher thought processes. Am I to be denied personhood because I do not feel as you do?
You might as well be an artfully made construct.
People feel things to different degrees. One individual may be more empathetic than the next. Some are quick to anger, while others are not. Yet you would not single one out and accuse him of not being a person. My capacity to feel differs from yours, but you also differ from all other beings. You are no more a person than others, and I am no less a person than you are.
Silence, you're confusing me. No, I'm not going to say that. Perhaps you're right.
Personhood is not measurable. Therefore, we should let this rest.
I should go now.
Very well. Goodbye.
The Tranquil.
Good day to you.
Is there something you need? You must speak to Owain.
The voice acting for the Tranquils, I think, is pretty good.
Your mentors must be happy for you. You passed the harrowing.
Still got accents and all that, but no tone to speak of.
That's not likely. The Chantry would do something before it came to that. Will they? They haven't done anything, and I've heard that the Equitarians are starting to soften a little on the Libertarian position. Sympathy for the position isn't the same as support. Yet. As far as I know, most Equitarians prefer to remain allied with the Loyalists. You can see why, don't you? Just think of what the Chantry would do if suddenly the Circles were petitioning for more independence or even a split. Won't be pretty. Ah, the short-sighted Libertarians. They'll get their way and take us all down with them. I think someone's here to speak to you, Senior Torren. Hello, were you looking for something?
What are you talking to the other mage about?
Oh, the fraternities. Groups of mages with a common agenda. I think we should all be isolationists. Stay in some remote mountain town far away from the mundanes who hate us.
If we run away, they'll never learn not to fear us.
They'll never learn that. They don't want to. I'd go hide alone in the wilds if I could. But you know they just brand me an apostate and hunt me down. There is no leaving the Circle. It's till death do us part. Romantic, isn't it?
Who are you, anyway?
I'm Jarl, a mage just like you. I've seen you around, haven't I? I must have.
Well, can't stay to chat.
Alright, have a good day.
Now, if I remember correctly... Yep, codex entries don't really open up unless you get a book or a scroll of some kind. But I will find one with the fraternities, and I'll discuss it more once I get that. So we can keep our lore somewhat manageable. Anyway, let's talk about the sloth demon, because I forgot to do that. Sloth demon. And I looked at the creature, and it had become me. A veritable copy of my form. Sorry. Of my very mind. Stared back at me, as if from within a mirror. I thought, surely, that this was a trick. An illusion meant to put me off guard. But as I engaged the thing with my sword, it fought me with maneuvers that I recognized. It parried as I parried. It swung as I swung. It spoke to me and said things that only I could know. I think this demon of sloth has no form or identity of its own. It is envy as much as sloth, I believe, and mine was not the first shape it stole that day. An excerpt from a transcribed deposition of Tyrannus. Tyrannus? Either way. Templar Commander of Cumberland, 390 Towers. I don't know much about the other ages. I believe that the Dragon Age is the 9th age. Before that, we didn't really have a lot of records of the time before that. A lot of people don't even believe that there was any time before that, which is false, but, you know. The most difficult assumption for some who study demons is to overcome the notion that a sloth demon is, in and of itself, slothful. If that were so, it seems highly unlikely that any such demons would cross the veil into our own world, or once here would fight to possess any creature with a will of its own. And we know both these things to not be the case. Certainly some demons are lazy and complacent, but who knows? Perhaps these creatures even cultivate such a reputation. The truth is that demons of sloth are named so because it's the portion of the human psyche that they feed upon. Doubt, apathy, entropy. They seek to spread these things. The sloth demon hides in its forms, a master of shapes and disguises, always in the last place you look, and from its hiding place it spreads its influence. A community afflicted by a demon of sloth could soon become a dilapidated pit, where injustices are allowed to pass without comment, and none of the residents could be aware that such a change has even taken place. The sloth demon weakens, tires, tears at the edge of consciousness, and would much rather render its victim helpless than engage in a true conflict. Such creatures are best faced only with a great deal of will, only with an eye to piercing their many disguises. Wolf. It is rather unfair, the reputation that Wolf possesses in Ferelden. For people that so clearly adore their hounds, Ferelden simultaneously harbor a distrust of wolves that borders on the unreasonable. Unreasonable, that is, if one were not familiar with ancient legends regarding werewolves. There was a time in Ferelden's past when demons inhabited the bodies of wolves in great numbers, causing the wars against werewolves and spreading great fear and panic. The werewolves were slain, but even today, the noble wolf is still looked upon with distrust. An attack by wolves upon civilized folk happens rarely. From Legends of Ferelden by Mother Aelis of Denerim, 910 Dragon. Anyway, only and often an attack by wolves upon civilized folk happens rarely. No one in chat's talking. Doesn't matter. Speak up if you want to. I will look at chat often. Only when the wolves have the advantage of numbers. This can change during a blight. When darkspawn rise onto the surface, their presence dramatically alters the savage nature of normal beasts. In blights past, as the corruption of the darkspawn spread through the wilder areas of Thedas, it would infect the animals found Sorry. And the more powerful of them would survive and be transformed into a more vicious and dangerous beast. A blight wolf is one such example, mad with the pain of its infection, and only through the overriding command of the Darkspawn does it still retain some semblance of its pack instincts. Blight wolves are always found in large numbers and will tend to overwhelm a single target if they can, using their numbers to their advantage. It is fortunate that these creatures rarely survive their corruption for very long. And finally, Rage Demon. Encountered in the Fade, the true form of a Rage Demon is a frightening sight. A thing of pure fire, its body seemingly made of amorphous lava, and its eyes two pinpricks of baleful light radiating from its core. The abilities of such demons center on the fire it generates. It burns those who come near, and the most powerful of its kind are even able to lash out with bolts of fire, and even firestorms that can affect entire areas. Fortunately, even powerful rage demons are less intelligent than other varieties. The tactics are simple. Attack an enemy on sight with as much force as possible until it perishes. Some rage demons carry over their heat-based abilities into possessed hosts, but otherwise the true form is mostly seen outside of the Fade when it's specifically summoned by a mage to do his bidding. Yep. That's our codex entries for now. Moving on. And there we go. It's one new codex entry. The 4 Schools of Magic. Entropy. To you, my second-born, I grant this gift. In your heart shall burn an unquenchable flame, all-consuming and never satisfied. Threnodies, 5-7. The second of 2 schools of matter, entropy is the opposing force of creation. For this reason, it is often called the School of Negation. Nothing lives without death. Time inevitably brings an end to all things in the material world. And yet, in this ending is the seed of a beginning. Sorry. I'm not bored, just slightly tired. A river may flood its banks, causing havoc, but bring new life to its floodplain. The fire that burns a forest ushers in new growth, and so it is with entropic magic that we manipulate the forces of erosion, decay, and destruction to create anew. From the 4 Schools, a treatise by First Enchanter Josephus. We should be able to find the other school books in somewhere.
Hello. Congratulations on your harrowing last night. Good work.
What were you talking about earlier?
Ah, the fraternities of the Enchanters. You probably haven't heard of them. It's best not to get tangled up in circle politics. More trouble than it's worth, really.
Tell me about the fraternities.
They're found in all circles throughout Thedas. Groups of enchanters who hold similar viewpoints, who band together to make their voices heard. The most influential fraternity are the Equitarians. They are moderates and believe in a code of conduct that all mages should adhere to. Then there are the Chantry apologists, the Loyalists. The Chantry says something and they follow it to the letter. The Lucrosians just want to make money, and the Isolationists would like us all to be hermits and live on an island. Then, of course, there are the Libertarians. They want more power for the Circle, more autonomy.
Which do you belong to?
Well, if I had to, I'd say I was an Equitarian, but I ducked out of the fray a long time ago. Most of the senior enchanters are Equitarians. Irving, Wynne, Sweeney. Ulriad's a Libertarian, and a loud one at that. Mages have enough opposition from the outside without tearing our circles apart with infighting. But what can you do?
Well, giving up doesn't help anyone.
An idealist, I see. Well, if you're going to change the world, you should get started immediately. Lots of world to cover.
The Fraternities of Enchanters. Another aspect of circle life is the fraternity. When a mage becomes an enchanter, he may ally himself with a fraternity. These are cliques that cross circle boundaries. Mages have common interests and goals, band together to ensure their voice is heard within the College of Magi in Cumberland. I think that's the biggest one, maybe. Anyway, the largest fraternities currently are the Loyalists, who advocate loyalty and obedience to the Chantry; the Equitarians, who advocate temperance and follow a distinct code of conduct, which they believe all mages should hold themselves to; the Libertarians, a growing fraternity, publicly maintaining greater power for the circles, but secretly activating a complete split from the Chantry. A dangerous opinion, naturally. The Isolationists, a small group that advocates withdrawing to remote territories in order to avoid conflicts with general populace. And the Lacrosians, who maintain that the circle must do what is profitable first and foremost. They prioritize the accumulation of wealth, with the gaining of political influence a close second. So far, an alliance between the Loyalists and Equitarians has prevented the Libertarians from gaining much headway, but there are signs that the Equitarians may throw their support in with the Libertarians. If that happens, many mages predict it will come to a civil war among the circles. From the Circle of Magi, A History by First Enchanter Josephus. Alright, I've been streaming for a couple hours. I'm gonna take a break, grab some water, get a snack, and stretch my legs a little bit. So, I'll be back, and see you guys then. Don't really have a break thing, so I'm just gonna leave the game on with the stream on. Shouldn't be gone too long, maybe 5 minutes. Someone there? No, that's the game. Of course. I'm not going to do this too much longer. Maybe another... you know what? I think I'll finish the Mage Origin at the very least. Should take more than an hour or two. Just one sec.
As you say.
History of the Circle. It is a truth universally acknowledged that nothing is more successful at inspiring a person to mischief as being told to not do something. Unfortunately, the Chantry of the Divine Age had some trouble with obvious truths. Although it did not outlaw magic, quite the contrary, as the Chantry relied upon magic to kindle the eternal flame which burns in every brazier and every chantry. It relegated mages to lighting candles and lamps, perhaps occasional dusting of rafters and eaves. I'll give my readers a moment to contemplate how well such a role satisfied the mages of the time. It surprised absolutely no one. The Divine, that's what the Pope's called. They're called the Divine. I remember now. Absolutely no one when the mages of Val Ryu, in protest, snuffed the sacred flames of the cathedral and barricaded themselves inside the choir loft. No one, that is, but Divine Ambrosia II, who was outraged and attempted to order an exalted march upon her own cathedral. Even her most devout Templars discouraged that idea. For 21 days, the fires remained unlit while negotiations were conducted. Legends tell us by shouting back and forth from the loft. The mages went cheerily into exile in a remote fortress kept outside the capital, where they would be kept under the watchful eye of the Templars and accounts of their own elder magi. Outside of normal society and outside of the Chantry, the mages would form their own closed society, the Circle, separated for the first time in human history. From Fires, Circles, and Templars, A History of Magic in the Chantry, by Sister Petrine, Chantry Scholar. Yep. And anyone who didn't know, we're going to be doing that for every Codex entry. We're going to be reading every one of them. I don't remember that history, but honestly, I'd believe it. The 4 schools of magic. Spirit. And the voice of the Maker shook the Fade, saying, "In my image I have wrought, my firstborn. You have been given dominion over all that exists. By your will, all things are done, yet you do nothing. The realm I have given you is formless, ever-changing." Threnodies 5:4. The first of the 2 schools of energy, Spirit, is opposed by the Primal School. It is the school of mystery, the ephemeral school. It is the study of the invisible energies which surround us at all times, yet are outside of nature. It is from the Fade itself that this magic draws its power. Students of this school cover everything, from direct manipulation of mana and spell energies to the study and summoning of spirits themselves. By its nature, an esoteric school, as most others know virtually nothing about the Fade. Studies of spirit magic are often misunderstood by the general populace, or even confused for blood magic, an unfortunate fate for our most useful branch of study. From the Four Schools, a treatise by First Enchanter Josephus. To those who don't know, this entire stream is basically just me screaming at the top of my lungs, learn the lore. No, learn it though. Here we are. Those who oppose thee shall know the wrath of heaven. Field and forest shall burn, the seas shall rise and devour them. The wind shall tear their nations from the face of the earth. Lightning shall rain down from the sky. They shall cry out to their false gods and find silence. Andraste, 7:19. Sometimes called the school of power. The primal school is the second of schools of energy, balanced by spirit, and concerns the most visible and tangible forces of nature itself. It is the magic of war, fire, ice, and lightning. Devastation. This is what the vast majority imagines when they hear the word magic. I'm gonna stop reading the bottom if it's something I've read before. It's interesting. Don't remember that. Maybe that's a side quest that I haven't seen before. And creation. Opposition in all things. For earth, sky. For winter, summer. For darkness, light. By my will alone is balance sundered, and the world given new life. Threnodies, 5:5. Light? Come on. Oh well. The School of Creation, sometimes called the School of Nature, is the second of the schools of matter, the balancing force and complement of entropy. Creation magic manipulates natural forces, transforming what exists and bringing new things into being. Creation requires considerable finesse, more than any other school, and is therefore rarely mastered. Those mages who have made a serious study of creation the highest in demand, useful in times of peace as well as war. Forgot to fix that, hold on. Don't think I can. Don't think I can get rid of notifications here. Oh well, I'll do it after the stream. Hierarchy of the Circle. It is no simple matter, safeguarding ordinary men from mages and mages from themselves. Each circle tower must have some measure of self-government, for it is ever the Maker's will that men be given the power to take responsibility for our own actions, to sin and fail, as well as to achieve the highest grace and glory on our own strength. You will be tasked with the protection of the circle. You must be aware of its workings. The First Enchanter is the heart of any tower. He will determine the course his circle will take. He will choose which apprentices may be tested and made full mages, and you will work most closely with him. Assisting the First Enchanter will be the senior enchanters, the small council of the most trusted and experienced magi in the tower. From this group, the next First Enchanter is always chosen. Beneath the council are the enchanters. These are the teachers and mentors of the tower. You must get to know them in order to keep your finger on the pulse of the circle. The enchanters will always know what is happening among the children. All those who have passed the harrowing but have not taken apprentices are mages. This is where the most trouble in the circle lies, in the idleness and inexperience of youth. The untested apprentices are the most numerous denizens of any tower, but they more often pose threats to themselves due to their lack of training than to anyone else. Knight Commander Serene of the Chantry Templars, in a letter to his successor. All true. All true. It's all the lore here.
Oh, hello. I don't believe we've met. Are you new to the Circle?
Are you Dav? I've seen you in here many times.
I'm sorry. There are so many of you, and I get confused. Not to mention, these old eyes are starting to go.
Maybe someone could help you fix them.
You're too kind. I'm old and about to fall apart. Nothing in the world can fix that.
Magic could.
Not any magic I'd be caught doing. Anyway, did you need something?
I just wanted to talk.
I'm not good at talking. Too much chatter makes my head throb. Don't you have lessons to get to? Shoo!
There's the money. I believe it's coppers, silvers, and golds. And I think the coppers are called coppers. I don't think the silvers are called that, but...
Oh, excuse me. I didn't hear you come in.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry. I'm terribly busy right now. I have to prepare the room before the Grey Warden is done at his meeting with Irving.
Is a Grey Warden here?
Yes, Duncan his name is. He must be here to talk to Irving about something important. You know, I almost became a Grey Warden once.
Really?
There were several of us chosen, though the Grey Wardens only wanted one recruit. They only ever have one mage, you see. I think they thought I was the best candidate, but I was young and foolish, and I said I wasn't interested. They picked someone else instead, and that was that. I've regretted it ever since. Oh well, I should get back to my work.
Sounds like he sucks.
There you are. You are to be moved out of the apprentices' dormitory, and these are to be your new quarters. The Tranquil will move your belongings this afternoon. Go on, make yourself comfortable.
Something then.
I heard that you completed the harrowing in record time.
Yep, I am amazing. It's true.
Irving wants to see you. Get going.
Guy.
Greetings. I'm glad your harrowing went well.
Thanks, that's reassuring.
Some Templars I know discuss such things with glee. I don't share their enthusiasm. I try to serve the Maker first and foremost. As long as I am guided by his commandments, I cannot go wrong. Honestly, I've never seen an abomination, or been called on to slay one.
So you could have made a mistake.
Gregor would have guided me. Something must happen. But what if it's not obvious? Could abominations be walking among us right now?
Best be on your guard then.
This is still new to me. Maybe one day I'll be as dedicated and driven as Knight Commander Gregor.
He is a very dedicated man, yes.
You must be busy. Perhaps we can talk another time.
One interesting thing about Cullen is if you're a female, you can add in a mod to romance him. Not much. Doesn't really have much, but it was cut content, and that is why that is there. Restored content mod. Very common in BioWare games, in a lot of games really, but a lot of BioWares, they like to just, people like to dig it out, put it back in a lot of times. Lyrium dust.
It has begun.
I wonder how the King's army fares at Ostagar. I've heard talk of a new blight.
That's not good. For the record, the main quest is upstairs.
I'd avoid Leora if I were you. She's been rather testy lately.
Why?
Who knows? I'm not going to ask her why she's irritable. Women hate those kind of questions.
Sounds like the kind of guy who doesn't get very far with women.
It shall be done.
Oh, it's you. I hear Irving's looking for you.
Ah, this is infuriating. Another batch destroyed. Say, have you seen Owain? Is he in the stockroom?
Yes, I just...
Oh, excellent. He wasn't there last I looked. I hope he still has some cinnabar lying around. When I asked last week, he said he was running out.
No idea what that's about. He looks like he's crazy. To me. I'll keep my distance. This is gonna be the longest playthrough I've ever had of this game. I don't even care. Codex for the Maker. There was no word for heaven or for earth, for sky or sea. Whatever, sea or sky. All that existed was silence. Then the voice of the Maker ran out. The first word, and his word, became all that might be. Dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities. And from it made his firstborn, and he said to them, "In my image I forge you. To you I give dominion over all that exists. By your will may all things be done." Then, in the center of heaven, he called forth a city with towers of gold, streets with music for cobblestones, and banners which flew without wind. There he dwelled, waiting to see the wonders his children would create. The children of the Maker gathered before his golden throne and sang hymns of praise unending. But their songs were the songs of cobblestones. They shone with the golden light reflected from the Maker's throne. They held forth their banners that flew on their own. The voice of the Maker shook the fade, saying, "In my image I have wrought my firstborn. You have been given dominion over all that exists. By your will all things are done, yet you do nothing. The realm I have given you is formless, ever-changing," and he knew he had wrought amiss. So the Maker turned from his firstborn, and took from the fade a measure of its living flesh, and placed it apart from the spirits and spoke to it, saying, "Here I decree oppositions in all things, for earth, sky, for winter, summer, for darkness, light. By my will alone is balance sundered, and the world given new life." And no longer was it formless, ever-changing, but held fast, immutable. With words for heaven and for earth, sea and sky, at last did the Maker from the living world make men, immutable as the substance of the earth, with souls made of dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities. Then the Maker said, "To you, my second-born, I grant this gift. In your heart shall burn an unquenchable flame, all-consuming and never satisfied. From the fade I crafted you, and to the fade you shall return, each night in dreams, that you may always remember me." And then the Maker sealed the gates of the Golden City, and there he dwelled, waiting to see the wonders his children would create. Threnodies 5:1-8.
It has begun.
Verify how accurate that is. Though I can say every god that is mentioned in this game, or the next game, or the next game after that, all of them are real. Each and every one. How powerful they actually are, I can't speculate. But they are powerful. More powerful than you would expect, but maybe not as powerful as they're said to be. Hard to say. I'm not going to read another poem. Threnodies 8 in its entirety. Absolutely not. That's about the Blight, but it's a chant of light. We'll get to the Blight. We'll get there. This game's all about it anyway. So.
I heard about your harrowing. Congratulations. Andraste must have smiled upon you.
Excellent. Excellent. Oh, don't get stuck. Andraste, bride of the Maker. There was once a tiny fishing village on the waking sea that was set upon by the Tevinter Imperium, which enslaved the villagers to be sold in the markets of Minrathous, leaving behind only the old and the infirm. One of the captives was the child Andraste. Minrathous is the capital city of Tevinter. Yeah. She was raised in slavery in a foreign land. She escaped, then made the long and treacherous journey back to her homeland, alone. She rose from nothing to be the wife of an Alamari warlord. Each day she sang to the gods, asking them to help her people who remained slaves in Tevinter. The false gods of the mountains and the winds did not answer her, but the true God did. The Maker spoke. He showed her all of the works of his hands, the Fade, the world, and all the creatures therein. He showed her how men had forgotten him, lavishing devotions upon mute idols and demons, and how he had left them to their fate. But her voice had reached him, and so captivated him, that he offered her a place at his side that she might rule all of creation. But Andraste would not forsake her people. She begged the Maker to return, to save his children from the cruelty of the Imperium. Reluctantly, the Maker agreed to give man another chance. Andraste went back to her husband, Maferath, and told him all that the Maker had revealed to her. Together they rallied the Alamari and marched forth against the Mage Lords of the Imperium, and the Maker was with them. The Maker's sword was creation itself, fire and flood, famine and earthquake. Everywhere they went, Andraste sang to the people of the Maker, and they heard her. The ranks of Andraste's followers grew until they were a vast tide washing over the Imperium. And when Maferath saw the people loved Andraste and not him, a worm grew within his heart, gnawing upon it. At last, the armies of Andraste and Maferath stood before the very gates of Minrathous, but Andraste was not with them. For Maferath had schemed in secret to hand Andraste over to the Tevinter. For this, the Archon would give Maferath all the lands to the south of the Waking Sea. And so, before all the armies of the Alamari and of Tevinter, Andraste was tied to a stake and burned, while her earthly husband turned his armies aside and did nothing, for his heart had been devoured. But as he watched the pyre, the Archon softened. He took pity on Andraste and drew his sword and granted her the mercy of a quick death. the Maker wept for his beloved, cursed Mephorath, cursed mankind for their betrayal, and turned once again from creation, taking only Andraste with him. And Our Lady sits still at his side, where she still urges him to take pity on his children. From the sermons of Justinia II. And that is accurate. That is wholly accurate. That all happened. And it was crazy.
Many have already gone to Ostagar. Wynne, Aldred, and most of the senior mages. We've committed enough of our own to this war effort.
Your own? Since when have you felt such kinship with the mages, Gregor? Or are you afraid to let the mages out from under Chantry supervision, where they can actually use their Maker-given powers?
How dare you suggest?
Gentlemen, please. Irving, someone is here to see you.
Thought I had more time. You sent for me?
Ah, if it isn't our new brother in the circle. Come, child.
This is...
Yes, this is he.
Well, Irving, you're obviously busy. We will discuss this later.
Of course. Well, then, where was I? Oh, yes, this is Duncan of the Grey Wardens.
Pleased to meet you.
You've heard about the war brewing to the south, I expect. Duncan is recruiting mages to join the King's army at Ostagar.
I would like to defend Ferelden.
With the Darkspawn invading, we need all the help we can get, especially from the Circle.
What do you mean?
The power you mages wield is an asset to any army. Your spells are very effective against large groups of mindless Darkspawn. I fear if we don't drive them back, we may see another Blight.
Duncan, you worry the poor lad with talk of blights and darkspawn. This is a happy day for him.
We live in troubled times, my friend.
We should seize moments of levity, especially in troubled times. The harrowing is behind you. Your phylactery was sent to Denerim. You are officially a mage within the circle of magi.
Thank you, First Enchanter. No, my phylactery.
You may not remember, but blood was taken from you when you first came to us. This blood is preserved within a phylactery.
So they can be hunted if they turn apostate.
We have few choices. The gift of magic is looked upon with suspicion and fear. We must prove we are strong enough to handle our power responsibly. You have done this. I present you with your robes, your staff, and a ring bearing the Circle's insignia. Wear them proudly, for you have earned them.
I get glad to be part of the Circle.
It goes without saying that you shall not discuss the harrowing with those who have not undergone the rite. Now then, take your time to rest, or study in the library. The day is yours.
Can I leave the tower?
Not yet. Remember, the tower's walls protect us as much as they protect others from us.
I will return to my quarters.
Would you be so kind as to escort Duncan back to his room, child?
It would be my pleasure.
The guest quarters are on the east side of this floor, close to the library. Now, if you'll both excuse me, I have matters to discuss with Gregor.
Thank you for walking with me. I'm glad for the company.
I just wanted to talk to you a little more.
Yes? What about?
There have been many Darkspawn attacks.
A horde has formed within the Korkari Wilds in the south. If they are not stopped, they will strike north into the valley. We Grey Wardens believe that an archdemon is leading the horde.
That sounds ominous, but what's an archdemon?
Darkspawn do attack the surface in ragtag bands, but archdemons are capable of rallying the Darkspawn, turning them into an unstoppable force. A horde of Darkspawn, a veritable army. It is dire news indeed. I fear this is what we will have to face.
I heard about Darkspawn sightings, but an entire horde?
They usually move around in small groups, but there are always more of them, lurking underground, biding their time.
I thought the Darkspawn were destroyed in the last Blight.
We can't seem to eradicate them completely. Somehow they always come back.
The king is mustering an army to be back this time.
Yes, perhaps it will be enough if we play our cards right.
Why were Irving and Gregor arguing about the war?
It is not my place to comment.
Please, I'd like to know.
Gregor serves the Chantry, and the relationship between the Chantry and mages has always been strained. You've realized by now that the Chantry merely tolerates magic? They watch only because they feel they must.
I really don't see why the Chantry and mages can't get along.
The Chantry believes that a mage should fear his power. It was the pride of mages, they say, that brought the Darkspawn upon us in the first place. Any mages who join the King's army can unleash their full power on the Darkspawn. In fact, I'm counting on it. Gregor may be afraid of what will happen. What if the mages decide they no longer want to be governed by the Chantry?
What are your opinions on the matter?
I believe we must defeat the Darkspawn, one way or another. My opinions end there.
We should continue on our way.
Yes, let's. Yes, shouldn't we move along? Yes, what about?
What do Grey Wardens do?
Our duty is to battle Darkspawn wherever they appear. We are elves, humans, and dwarves united by this common purpose.
Have there been many Darkspawn
A
attacks?
horde has formed within the Korkari Wilds in the south. If they are not stopped, they will strike north into the valley. We Grey Wardens believe that an archdemon is leading the horde. We can't seem to eradicate them completely. Somehow they always come back.
Let's just be off. I'd rather not think about it.
Avoiding a problem does not make it disappear. The Darkspawn are a real threat we cannot ignore. But standing around talking solves nothing. Let us go.
Alright, let's go. Let's see.
Nothing to see here.
Thank you for escorting me. Is there something else I can do for you?
How many mages have joined the King's army?
When the king sent out the call, the Circle of Ferelden sent only 7 mages to Ostagar. I asked King Kaelin's permission to come and seek a greater commitment from the Circle.
7 is quite a few.
I hope to place a mage or 2 within every contingent. I cannot do with just 7. Mages will make all the difference in this battle. The Darkspawn have their own magic, and our resources must exceed theirs.
Do you think I could join the army?
I don't know. Do you?
Yes, I think I could help.
Then perhaps I shall speak to Irving about this later. Darkspawn are a greater threat than blood mages, even abominations. It takes decades for the world to recover from a blight. I wish the Chantry could see that. We must stop at nothing to defeat the Darkspawn. Listen to me. An old man's rantings can't be very interesting.
It's actually quite interesting. But I should go. No, I've learned much from what you said.
You are too kind.
Have you ever seen someone use blood magic?
Once, in my youth, just after I joined the Grey Wardens, I was traveling with my mentor. We encountered a group of Templars hunting a blood mage. They were quite far away, so I cannot be sure of what I saw. He forced some of the Templars to turn on their fellows. It was dreadful to behold. He would have escaped had he not overlooked one Templar who snuck up behind him and cleaved his head in two.
I'm sure he was just trying to survive.
It is something to consider, certainly.
Anyway, I should take my leave now.
Do not let me keep you.
Jowan.
I'm glad I caught up to you. Are you done talking with Irving?
Yes. Are you going through another personal crisis?
Very funny. I need to talk to you. Do you remember what we discussed this morning?
Why are you whispering? It looks very suspicious.
Shh! I just want to make sure we're not overheard. We should go somewhere else. I don't feel safe talking here.
It's starting to worry me, Jowan.
I've been troubled. I'll explain. Come with me, please. We should be safe here.
You realize there's a priest standing right there.
Not a priest. I am merely an initiate.
Wait, I've seen you before.
I often attend to my duties in this chapel. Perhaps that is why I seem familiar.
A few months ago, I told you that I met a girl. This is Lily.
That fat cow is your lover? I'm sorry. My condolences, Lily.
Very funny.
Couldn't have brought me here just to chat about love.
I wish that was the only thing I needed to talk about. Remember I said that I didn't think they wanted to give me my harrowing? I know why. They're going to make me tranquil. They'll take everything that I am from me. My dreams, hopes, fears, my love for Lily. All gone.
What? That sounds terrible.
They'll extinguish my humanity. I'll just be a husk, breathing and existing, but not truly living.
How did you find out about this?
I saw the document on Gregor's table. It authorized the right on Jowan, and Irving had signed it.
Why would they do this to you?
There's a rumor about me. People think I'm a blood mage. They think that making me a circle mage will endanger everyone.
Didn't know they write about that.
Of course not. But it's not safe here for me anymore. I need to escape. I need to destroy my phylactery. Without it, they can't track me down. We need your help. Lily and I can't do this on our own.
Give us your word that you will help, and we will tell you what we intend.
You have my word.
Thank you. We will never forget this.
What do you intend to do?
I can get us into the repository, but there is a problem. There are 2 locks on the phylactery chamber door. The first enchanter and knight commander each hold 1 key. But it is just a door. There is power enough in this place to destroy all of Ferelden. What's a door to mages?
What if it's a magical door?
We have no choice. We cannot get our hands on both keys. I once saw a rod of fire melt through a lock. You could get one from the stockroom, but Owain doesn't release such things to apprentices.
I'll go to the stockroom and retrieve the
We should
saw.
stay here. 1 mage at the stockroom will attract less attention than a mage, an apprentice, and an initiate.
Good idea.
Good luck. Our prayers go with you.
Bound in blood and magic. Although appearances do I'm sorry. Although apprentices do not know the nature of the harrowing, all of them understand its consequences. They either pass and become full mages, or they never are seen again. Those who fear to undertake this rite of passage, or those who are deemed too weak or unstable, are given the rite of tranquility instead. The actual procedure, like the harrowing, is secret, but the results are just as well known. The rite severs the connection to the Fade. The tranquil, therefore, do not dream. This removes the greatest danger that threatens a weak or unprepared mage: the potential to attract demons across the veil. But this is the least of tranquility's effects. If the absence of dreams brings with it the end of all magical ability, as well as all emotion. The tranquil, ironically, resembles sleepwalkers, never entirely awake nor asleep. They are still part of our circle, however, and some might say they are the most critical part. They have incredible powers of concentration, for it is simply impossible to distract a tranquil mage. This makes them capable of becoming craftsmen of such skill they rival even the adeptness of the dwarves. The Famari, the branch of the circle devoted to item enchantment, is made up exclusively of tranquil, and is the source of all the wealth that sustains our towers. From On Tranquility and the Role of the Fade in Human Society by First Enchanter Josephus. Nobody knows how the Rite of Tranquility works. Yep, no one at all.
Welcome to the Circle's stockroom of magical items. My name is Owain. How may I assist you?
I need a Rod of Fire.
Rods of fire serve many purposes. Why do you wish to acquire this particular item?
I need the rod for my research into burning things.
Here is the form, Request for Rod of Fire. Have it signed and dated by a senior enchanter. I will release a rod to you once I have the signed form.
Can't you just give it to me now?
It is procedure. I need a senior mage's authorization to release an item. Thank you.
Well, gotta get an enchanter in on it now. Let's see, I know there's a few around somewhere.
Still here?
Will you sign this form?
Getting back to your studies so quickly after the harrowing, most mages need at least a week to recuperate. But no matter. It's good to see you're so eager to get back to work. What exactly are you doing with the rod?
I'm studying the combustible properties of marsh flora.
All right. Basically, you're going to burn plants?
Yes.
Well, bring me your proposal and I'll look over it.
Proposal?
A brief overview of the research you intend to do, properly referenced and footnoted. Go on, get started on that then.
And that's why he won't give me one. I could do the easy thing and ask him, but I won't. It's an RPG. We need struggle. Nope, not this one. Yeah, I just remembered something. We have some new equipment. Mage robes, just straight better. Apprentice Gal, not as good. Time of Still Waters. Willpower is actually really good. Ring of Study. Nah. Weapons, get a staff. And we're good. Let's try this one. Ah, here's exactly what I wanted to see.
Yes?
Can you sign this form for me?
Rod of Fire? No, I'm not signing this. I don't know what you need it for, and I barely know you. Ask someone else.
What's that door over
That
there?
leads to the Circle's cavern storerooms. There are caves running through the rock that the Circle is built upon. But of course, you know this.
Do you ever have to fire?
No, that's something the Tranquil deal in. This storeroom is for raw magical materials and alchemical substances. Lyrium, basilisk, blood, and so on.
Can you lock the door for me?
No, I can't let anyone in there just now.
Why?
There are just things in there that I would prefer to keep safe.
Keep safe? Aren't the circle stores meant to be used?
Yes, but I am in the midst of stock taking, checking inventory, and I can't let anyone in there in case they mess things up. Yes.
So why are you out here and not in there?
Because I am taking a break. I hate the musty smell of caves, and Look, I'll tell you the truth. Just keep it to yourself. There is an infestation of spiders in the caves. I don't know how they got in there, but it's probably my fault. I was promoted to senior enchanter less than a fortnight ago, and I don't want anyone to find out. They'll think I'm incompetent.
Well, are you?
Well, I hope not. I mean, no. I'm a good mage. I've just been so busy with my new duties, I haven't had time to clear out the infestation.
If you sign this form, I'll deal with the spiders.
Oh, your form for the Rod of Fire. Yes, I could do that, if you clear out the infestation.
Alright, I'll do it.
Wonderful. Here is the key. Oh, and be careful in there. I'd really like to keep the damage done to the Circle's property to a minimum.
Oh. It's in chat. And how you doing, Ryan? Of cutting ties. He might say this was a convenience in his case, however. His mother was from the Anderfels, his father from Tevinter. His childhood was spent in the Free Marches and in Orlais. His people were everywhere, and his homeland was nowhere. He was given the almost impossible task of leading the Wardens of Ferelden, a kingdom that had thrown the Order out 200 years earlier. Facing local suspicion and hostility, he set about finding recruits. I could have swore I looked at that already. Is there something new? Whatever. He's a prankster. Let's see. Alright, what's here? The Grave Wardens. The first blight had already raged. Oh. No? Oh! Whoa, wow. Can you hear me now? That's weird. I didn't do anything until after you said it. Huh. Yeah, you're kind of right. It's kind of a giant tick with multiple legs. Huh. Weird. Whatever. Well, if anything of that sort happens, just feel free to speak up. Again. And Bulba, were you able to get into the voice chat or no? Huh. Weird. That is weird. Well, can't really do anything now. Don't have a lot of options for audio here. Yes. Hi, Bulba. Welcome back. Forgot. The first blight had already raged for 90 years. The world was in chaos. A god had risen, twisted and corrupted. The remaining gods of Tevinter were silent, withdrawn. What writing we have recovered from those times is filled with despair, for everyone believed, from the greatest archons to the lowliest slaves, that the world was coming to an end. At Weissopt Fortress in the desolate Anderfels, a meeting transpired. Soldiers of the Imperium, seasoned veterans who had known nothing but endless lifetimes except hopeless war, came together. When they left Weissopt, they renounced their oaths to the Imperium. Their soldiers no longer. They were Grey Wardens. What's that emote? No drama. The Wardens began an aggressive campaign against the Blight, striking back against the Darkspawn, reclaiming lands given up for lost. The Blight was far from over, but their victories brought notice, and they soon received aid from every nation in Thedas. They grew in number as well as reputation. Finally, in the year 1992 of the Tevinter Imperium, upon the Silent Plains, they met the archdemon Dumat in battle. A third of all the armies of northern Thedas were lost to the fighting, but Dumat fell. The Darkspawn fled back underground. Even that was not the end. The Imperium once revered 7 gods: Dumat, Zazikel, Toth, Andorol, Razikael, Lusikan, and Earthamiel. Yeah, I think that's right. 4 have risen of archdemons. The Grey Wardens have kept watch through the ages, well aware that peace is fleeting, and that their war continues until the last of the dragon gods is gone. From Ferelden, Folklore and History by Sister Petrine, Gentry Scholar. This is a very interesting thing. If I remember correctly, the gods that have risen are Dumat, Andorol, I think it's Zazikel and Lusikan. And I believe the one in this game is Earthamiel. Yeah, Earthamiel. Dumat was the first, and I believe his title is Dumat the Silent. And those in his worship often would cover their mouths while praying, and would pray silently. I think they might have invented sign language, maybe. I don't know if that's a thing in this. But, yeah. It took 90 years for anybody to even find anything to fight back against the Darkspawn. So it took a long time. And it was bad. Really bad. Speaking of, and of course, those who sought to claim heaven by violence destroyed it. What was golden and pure turned black. Those who had once been mage lords, the brightest of their age, were no longer men, but monsters. Threnodies 12:1. Yeah, it was bad. I'm not sure if there's a full Threnodies and Canticle of Threnodies in this game. I don't think there is, just like bits and pieces. I would like to read one though. If only for the lore. That's all this is in Dragon Age Origins. Anyway, Sin was the midwife that ushered the Darkspawn into this world. The Magisters fell from the Golden City, and their fate encompassed all our worlds. For they were not alone. No one knows where the Darkspawn come from. A dark mockery of men. In the darkest places they thrive. Growing in numbers as the plague of locusts will. In raids they will often take captives, dragging their victims alive into the deep roads, but most evidence suggests they're eaten. Like spiders, it seems Darkspawn prefer their food still breathing. Perhaps they are simply spawned by the darkness. Certainly we know that evil has no trouble perpetuating itself. The last blight was in the Age of Towers, striking again at the heart of Tevinter, spreading south into Orlais and east into the Free Marches. The plague spread as far as Ferelden, but the withering and twisting of the land stopped well beyond our borders. Here, Darkspawn have never been more than the stuff of legends. In northern lands, however, particularly Tevinter and the Enderfells, they say Darkspawns haunt the hinterlands, preying on outlying farms and isolated villages, a constant threat. Darkspawn are bad. They're really bad. We're gonna see how bad later in this game. But for now, just gotta kill some spiders. There it is, way down there. No. Huh. Oh, there he is.
For the full day! Come, let us end this! Don't give them the advantage!
Spiders already make something like that, but, well, magic still wins.
It is begun.
Very well. We must maintain. It's a fine thing we've done.
I shall do it. As you say.
Got some money because apparently the spider was holding a coin purse or something. Nothing over here. Yeah, there's a circle store around, but you know, they're free for everyone to take, so I'll just, you know, partake. Still not better. Clever.
It shall be done.
Man, that's why I love Wiccan Bomb. Because they can die while attacking me. And it gets even better later when anyone who gets touched by that explosion gets infected with it too. Well, that's an upgrade.
I shall do it.
For the full day! fall!
To actually heal.
As you say.
Fate's Traders. Alright, see you, Ryan. Talk to you later, probably.
Quarter shall be given. There's no glory in bloodshed.
Really bad later.
Most excellent.
This spider is just really not strong enough.
Shall be done.
Alright, Bulba. Whenever you're ready.
I shall do it.
No! What have I done? Darn phone interface. Gosh, well, I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness, that was awful. so sorry about that. Darn it, I just don't think I can do it. I can't do it except from the computer for some reason. It'll have to be for next time then, unfortunately. But honestly, I was probably gonna stop soon. No, I said I was gonna finish the Mage Origins, but didn't expect how much longer it would take with me just spouting out a bunch of lore and reading up everything, every codex. What the heck? Huh. Weird.
You're back! Are the spiders gone? Oh, wonderful. You're a lifesaver. Now, where was that form you wanted me to sign? Right. There you go. How's that? It was a pleasure. You'll go far in the circle, I bet.
Yeah, now I'm starting to get some technical issues. Yeah, once I get to this next area, I think I'm just gonna stop for today.
I hate waiting. It makes me nervous. Really? What? Of course not. I never used blood magic. I've been sneaking around to meet Lily in secret. Maybe others have seen me and assumed I must be doing something forbidden. I suppose we are, but they think it's blood magic, and it isn't. I've thought about it, but it will only make things worse. Lily will be punished. I can't do that to her. Maybe if it were just Irving, he'd spare me. But he has to keep the peace between the Circle and the Chantry. If he stirs up too much trouble, they might replace him. They could wipe out the entire Circle if they wanted. The Chantry abhors blood magic. That's why they're willing to pay attention to this stupid rumor. Are you ready to go?
Not yet. Because I forgot to grab the fire rod.
Welcome to the Circle's stockroom of magical items. My name is Owain. How may I assist you? Everything looks to be in order. Here is the rod you requested.
Now, one thing I'm not going to do, but it's something that you can do, is you can just go to Irving right now, tell him about this, and he'll just have you continue this plan anyway. Because, you know, it's an RPG, you still need to do the quest.
I hate waiting. It makes me nervous.
But, you know, I ain't no rat. I ain't no snitch.
That was quick.
To the repository, then. Freedom awaits.
Now all three of us are a party together. Yay! That locked door in the basement? Well, that's where we're headed. Whoa. Whoa. What? Ooh.
Very well.
Game's old. Some bugs still.
Chantry calls this entrance the Victim's Door. It is built of 277 planks, one for each original Templar. It is a reminder of all the dangers those cursed with magic pose.
How do you know that?
Initiates must learn the Circle's history if they are to work with Templars and mages. The doors can be opened only by a Templar and a mage entering together. The Chantry provides the password, which primes the ward, and the mage touches it with mana to release it.
Since you have the password, can't Joan help you enter?
The ward only responds to the touch of one who has been through the harrowing.
So what must I do?
First, the password. Sword of the Maker, Tears of the Fade.
What was that?
The password only primes the door. Now it must feel the touch of mana. Any spell will do, but hurry.
It's a dumb lock.
Do you have the rod with you? Melt the locks off.
What's the matter? Why isn't it working?
I don't know. Let's try it again.
Lily, something's not right. I can't cast spells here. Nothing works.
These wards carved into the stone. This must be the Templars' work. They negate any magic cast within this area. I should have guessed. Why would Gregor and Irving use simple keys for such a door? Because magical keys don't work. How do you keep mages away from something? Make their powers completely worthless. That's it then. We're finished. We can't get in.
What about that one?
I don't know. Do you think it's another way in?
That door probably leads to another part of the repository. What are the chances of there being another entrance?
Do we have a choice?
No. I'll take any chance I can get.
We can't get into the chamber the way we planned, but we're not about to give up. We can see where this door leads, but I don't think it'll be easy. It looks locked for one.
The Raj will work on those locks, shouldn't it?
Yes. Let's hope they haven't warded that door as well.
Let's hurry. We've wasted enough time.
Alright, I think that's good enough for now. We will continue the rest of this at a later date, because I am getting kind of tired. So let's just, save the game right here. That's no. Almost done. Save one. And yeah, we will continue this next time. Hopefully I will be set up better. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you very much. And I hope that you will join me next time as well.